Should you make your girlfriend pay for half of everything? God damn it, no. So it was recently in the news that Travis Kelce, who is tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is a CF. The guy is a legendary CF. So his girlfriend recently broke up with him. And the reason she cited is that for the 5 years that they've been together, he made her pay for half of everything. You know, going out to restaurants, vacations, hotel rooms, whatever. She had to pay half. Keep in mind, guy makes pretty good money. So, what? So, now, apparently, like, Barstool Sports did a piece on this, and it kind of went viral, and she denied it. I don't know. I tend to believe it. I would not be surprised if this is true, because Travis Kelce is a legendary cheapskate. But in his business, in professional sports, that's a good thing, because probably 80% of these professional athletes, they make tens of millions of dollars and they just blow it all and have nothing to show for it. He is the rare professional athlete that actually does not spend a lot of money, and he's going to have something at the end of his career. So good for him. But what about in a romantic relationship? I mean, being a cheap fuck might actually be good if you're a professional athlete, but if you have a girlfriend, then maybe not. So now, when they first started dating, he made her pay for half of everything because he wanted to prove, or he wanted her to prove, that she was not just dating him for the money. Okay. So that they did that for a while, but as time went on, 3, 4, 5 years later, he's still making her pay for half of everything. And this is a guy who, in his career, has made $60 million. So whenever you see these numbers, whenever you see like a hedge fund guy made $100 million or this guy made $50 million, you immediately just have to cut that in half, because of taxes. Okay, so he's got $30 million. If he's invested it and he's done well, then maybe he's got more than that. So let's say he's worth $30 million. If you're worth $30 million and your girlfriend has zero, then you should be paying for pretty much everything. So I'm sure you know my story. When I was 22, I moved in with my fiance, and we were making about $20,000 a year each, and we split everything down the middle. We kept our money separate, and we split everything down the middle. The only thing I paid more on was food, because I ate a huge amount of food. I ate like 2/3 of the food, so I paid for 2/3 of the food. Over time, I started to make more money, and then it just kind of made sense to pay for things proportionally. We bought a house in 1999, and I had a job. I was working in the Coast Guard, and my wife was in grad school. She really didn't have an income. And our contribution to the mortgage was proportional to her income. But we split everything else 50-50 except for the groceries. And this continued for a while, but then I started making even more money, and I started paying a higher proportion. So today, when it comes to utilities and stuff, I pay like 85-90%. And car insurance, my wife pays her car insurance, and I pay my car insurance. In terms of going out to eat, if we go out to restaurants, I just pay. Like, I just pay for everything. Every time we go out to eat, I buy. Okay, so she goes out to eat for free. If we go on vacation, I like to go on expensive vacations. So I might have her pay 10% of it, but I'm not going to have her pay for half the vacation. And the only reason I do that is just so she has some skin in the game, But at this point, I pretty much pay for everything, and I have a lot less money than Travis Kelce. So Travis Kelce is a giant dildo for making his girl pay for all this stuff. Not only that, he should splurge and buy her a car. Absolutely. I mean, although my guess is, I don't know what kind of car he drives, but I guess it's like a 1991 Ford Bronco or something like that. That's just kind of what I'm envisioning. So he's not going to buy her a car. But I think, after 5 years, she's proven that she's not dating you for the money. So it's time to start paying for stuff. It's just good. It's good etiquette is what it is. So like my vacations, my wife and I took a vacation to Greece last year. It cost a little over $10,000. If I made my wife pay for half of it, she wouldn't have been able to afford it, and we wouldn't have had a nice vacation. We get to take nice vacations because I make more money and I share it with her. There's a lot of things we couldn't do if my wife had to pay half. We wouldn't be building this house. So I've talked for years about keeping your money separate. And in Travis Kelce's case, that's a good thing. If you're going to do something together, you should contribute proportionally. $30 million in the bank. She's got to pay half. Now, one thing I will say in his defense, the career of a tight end in the NFL is often very short. And whatever he does for work afterwards is probably not going to pay as much money as being a tight end. So he wants to be set for life. So I get it. I totally get it. But it is possible to take that to an extreme. My wife and I still, after all these years, our anniversary is coming up. It's in August. We're going to be married 25 years. We still keep our money separate because it's the right thing to do. And guess what? We never fight about money. Not once in 25 years have we fought about money. So we're still a team. We have shared financial goals, but we keep our money separate, which is the right way to do it. Some people do have success with combining their funds. But I don't think that would work in the case of Travis Kelce because he's got $30 million, she's got $0. And, there is a chance that she's going to go nuts with his money, and that's going to create a lot of resentment, I bet you $1 million trillion that this guy would have gotten a prenup if he married this girl. 100% chance. Now, I do have a story about that. Alex Rodriguez got divorced, and it was kind of a mess. There was that whole situation where they were playing the Blue Jays up in Toronto, and Alex Rodriguez got a hooker, and the New York Post reporter took a picture of them in the elevator, and it ended up on the front page of the New York Post, and they got divorced. So, he was worth like $300 million at the time. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, he's going to get absolutely rinsed in this divorce. So I knew somebody that was friends with him, and I said, well, A-Rod lost half in that divorce, right? And he said, no. He said, she went away for $4 million. I'm like, what? He said, prenup, $4 million. That's all she got after all that. So Jeff Bezos did not have a prenup. He gave away 25% of his stock, and he's lucky it wasn't half. Because she was with him the whole time, Mackenzie Bezos. I mean, they were, I don't know if they were like college sweethearts or something like that, but she was with him all throughout Amazon and everything. So, Anyway, so one of the things we do, my wife and I, is we keep track of what percentage we own of our house. Basically, we keep track of what we put into it over time, the mortgage payments, the down payment, all that stuff, any maintenance. And over time, she owns, what does she own? She owns 13.36% of our current house, and I own 86.64%. Okay. So if we sell our house for $2 million, I would get approximately $1.7 million, and she would get about $300,000. And you're like, what is the point of doing this? The point of doing this is so we never fight about money. All the spreadsheets we do, all the calculations, we calculate it out to the last penny, is so we never fight about money, because fighting about money in a marriage is one of the dumbest things you can do. And people get divorced over money. So getting back to Travis Kelce, it's unreasonable to ask your girlfriend to pay for stuff when you have $30 million in the bank. It's just unreasonable. It doesn't pass the reasonability test. Okay. And remember, we've talked before, there's the whole personal finance industry is set up to vilify the people who spend too much. We look at these people who spend too much and they go into debt and they have credit card debt, and we say these are the bad people, right? And we look at people like Travis Kelce and we say these are the good people. The people who spend too little, that's the right thing to do. It's actually not. It's not the right thing to do. You can spend too much, but you can also spend too little, and there are consequences to doing that. And the consequences are broken relationships. It affects your relationships because people are like, this guy's a cheap bastard. So, I would rather hang out with high rollers than CFs any day. And I have known some high rollers in my lifetime, and they've had some ups and downs. And they definitely don't have as much money as they could have had, but they get through. And the CFs just piss everyone off all the time. So the goal is to neither be a CF or a high roller, but someone in between. You want to be in between. It requires balance. And this is harder than it sounds. This requires you to have a healthy relationship with money. Travis Kelce has an unhealthy relationship with money. I mean, yes, he's keeping it all. He'll have it. He'll retire from football and he'll have that money, but he has an unhealthy relationship with it. Financial security is important. So is having a girlfriend. Thus endeth the lesson. Thanks for listening to the Be Smart podcast. I'm Jared Dillian. See you next time.